Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your Rangers review. It is your press conference reaction video. We've heard from Philippe, Clement and Tom Lawrence ahead of tomorrow night's Europa League clash against FCSB at Ibrox. And Chris Jack was in attendance for us. He's in the Jack Mobile. How's it going, Chris?
Not too bad. A long afternoon so far.
Yeah.
Not finished yet. As ended us watched the presser on the YouTube site, or has been through the full Q&A on the website. We'll know Philippe, Clement sat and spoke at length about a range of issues. So full 24 minutes, 3,200 words there for your perusal. We'll try and digest it all over the next 10-15 minutes or so and give people the main kind of talking points. But a number of interesting things there as always, and certainly given the circumstances that the manager and his team find themselves in at present.
Yep, you can read what both had to say on the website, and you can also watch both press conferences over on the YouTube channel. Good afternoon to a number of you who are getting in touch. James, Day in the Life, and Scotty as well is here. So good afternoon, lads, and welcome along. Right, let's get stuck in then. The main talking points in terms of where do we start? Like you say, Chris, 24 minutes. Talked about he was called out on his style of play criticisms that have been levelled at the manager. He's called for patience and he's called for stability at the club. He's been talking about the rebuild again, asking for patience from the supporters. What was the main thing that stuck out for you?
Ironically, I think it was probably the shortest answer of the press conference. He was asked, "Do you still feel you're on the right trajectory?" And he said, "For sure, 200%." I think that almost summed up the theme of what he was trying to say and trying to get across, and his unwavering commitment to the club and to these players and to the project that he's signed up for. He was asked about this theory or this standpoint that Rangers cannot keep chopping and changing managers. They cannot keep finding themselves in this cycle at this stage of the season, and the need for stability. It's perhaps no surprise that the current manager of Rangers says Rangers need to stop chopping and changing Rangers managers. That's not exactly that doesn't come as a massive surprise. But I think the point he's trying to get across, it's not conducive to any form of success if you keep having changes of philosophy, changes of personnel. A new manager requires new players. New players require new finance. There is only so much finance available to a club like Rangers. So I think he's trying to stress that need for a bit of calm, a bit of time, a bit of patience, and certainly a bit of stability. But I'm sure he was saying all of those things fully aware that this is Rangers and that you do not get that time. And if you do get that time, there has to be something a bit more tangible there to actually back it up. When he's having those conversations, when he's putting across those answers, we already know what the rebuttal will be. The rebuttal will be, "You've been here 12 months. What's the style of play? Why did Rangers not win the league? Why are Rangers 6 points behind Celtic and Aberdeen? Why did Rangers not qualify for the Champions League? Why did Rangers lose to Kilmarnock at the weekend?" All of those points can easily be thrown back at him. Some of them were in that press conference. He doesn't shuck any question. He has an answer for every question. But ultimately, I think as I wrote in the piece that I had on the site yesterday, Rangers need to start winning games. They need to start producing a higher level of performance. That's the only way that this noise level is going to dampen down. And be really interesting to see the reaction of the Ibrox crowd on Thursday night for this European game. Now, he referenced the role the fans can play, about how there will be times last season where they loved him, times last season where they questioned him. He'll be fully aware that a number of the fans are now questioning his selections and his players and his capabilities as a manager. You can say what you like in a press conference. If Rangers win tomorrow night, a bit of the pressure comes off. If Rangers lose tomorrow night, another bit is added on top.
Yeah, just on the fans then, this is what you had to say, the manager.
The next months that this team will become better. But the more they stick behind the team, the more they are positive, the more they are supporting, the more they give the team energy, the faster it will go also. But we understand also from our side that the fans need to see also things on the pitch. So we were not happy with the performance in that way against Kilmarnock. All of us were not happy about that.
I get his point, but his point saying that the faster Rangers will get to where they want to be with it, the fan support. I mean, the fans were magnificent on Sunday, as they always are, and the team simply failed to deliver. Now, I know Tom Lawrence spoke about the fan base as well and how the team are hurting after the weekend, but words are all right. We need to see actions on the pitch, and the fans are not the problem. We know that Ibrox can be a tough place to be, to play your football if things aren't going well, but that's why you're at Rangers with the demands and the expectation levels. That's why Philippe Clement is at Rangers, and he's going to have to quickly understand that beating the likes of Ross County, St Johnstone's and Hibs doesn't quite cut it. We need to see a consistent run of wins being built up, and we're not singing from the rooftops for getting clean sheets against those sides. So I think the supporters, it will be interesting to see tomorrow, Chris, just what the attendance will be, what the atmosphere is going to be like, but I don't think the supporters have to do anything more than what they're currently doing. I know they had a message against the sort of mismanagement of the club. It could have been directed on and off the pitch at the weekend. How do you see the atmosphere tomorrow?
I think a lot depends on how Rangers start the game. As we touched on the other day there, I don't expect him to have a huge shift in football philosophy over the next 24 hours. I don't expect him to have a huge shift in terms of the squad that he picks and the team that he puts on the park. It's going to be same again from a Clement Rangers side. It's will the fans see enough in that tomorrow night? Do they see enough in those early stages to suggest that the mistakes of Sunday, the abject nature of that performance on Sunday, is that out of the system, or is tomorrow night a continuation of it? If it's a continuation, then there are real problems, and there will be real questions at the manager and this group of players. And we know the Ibrox crowd will not be slow in coming forward to let both the manager and the players know their feelings in that regard. If Rangers start well, if they carry more of an attacking threat, if they look like they have more of an attacking threat about them, that will maybe give the crowd something to latch onto for that evening. But it's bigger picture stuff than just how Rangers get on tomorrow night. The fans, they need to see more of a style of play. They need to see more reasons to give them encouragement. That I mentioned the manager's answer about trajectory earlier on. I think the fans need to see that they are. They're
doing their bit. The fans are doing their bit, Chris. Yeah, the fans are doing their bit. We need the players to do their bit, don't we?
And as I said the other day there when we were on the show, they have been through this cycle, if you like. They have been through the hard years. They have watched Pedro Caixinha sides and Graham Murty sides. They've been through the Old Firm barren runs. They've been through not being competitive domestically. They've been through all that stage. When you then win a league title, that should have been a line in the sand moment and a foundation to move on from. When you get to a European final, when you've had Champions League money, you've had record sales from likes of Calvin Bassey and Nathan Patterson. When the club have achieved all these milestone moments, if you like, they are quite entitled to say, well, why are we back at square one? Why are we back in a rebuilding phase? So I think the calling for patience from the fans, you can only do that so many times. You can only play that card so many times, because they have been as loyal and as understanding and as patient as you could ever expect any support to be. And I think that feeds into a lot of the frustrations right now. It's not just a frustration at where Rangers are in terms of this manager and this squad. It's the fact that they're here 12 months after the last time, and the same mistakes keep being made. And in that sense, Clement was almost paying the price for the mistakes that have been made previously. If he was the first manager after Steven Gerrard, he might have a bit more leeway. But when Rangers have been in this situation under Van Bronckhorst, under Michael Beale, and now under Clement, that's when that asking for patience is not going to get you very far.
Yeah, here's what Clement had to say about stability.
Anybody who did his job or has worked in football knows to make that rebuild and cutting wages and making the club sustainable and investing in young players for now and for the future, that it takes time. You cannot do that in 1, 2, 3 months. That's impossible. Or you need to have all the luck in the world that everybody directly settles in, that there are no injuries, and that in all the games, everything falls your way.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 months. I get if he'd said that sort of April time, March time, but I get his point about bringing players in the summer. But yeah, we've said it to death now. We'd like to see a bit more from this Rangers team. I think they're capable of more. I don't think the system suits them. I think he has to change it up, the manager, or this is going to end one way, and that is him without a job. But interestingly, Stevie asked him about style of play. He said one of the main complaints is Rangers' style of football. Too many long balls, too many needless passes side to side. How do you respond to accusations that it's too boring to watch? His response was two totally opposite things that you say there, long balls or sideways passing. And he said that the accusation from the fans is there's too much of it and there's no attack in play and they're boring to watch. How do you respond to that? No, but what you say now, is it too many long balls or is it too many sideways passes? And he said it can be both. And then Clement said it's about creating not enough chances. That's the conclusion at the end. I agree with that. In the Kilmarnock game, it was the case. In other games, we created more chances, not in all the games until now. But you see also we're starting to play with new players in that role who are just in the building. Nadim Bayrami is how long here? 4 weeks or something, 6 weeks maximum. And in the 6 weeks, he's been 3 or 4 weeks away with the national team. So they're just in the building. There are other players in other clubs who come to their better level now after the first 6 months that everybody said they were not good. So Nadim did already good things, but of course you need to create these connections on the pitch more and more to get to know each other, with which moment to run, which moment to play deep, which moment to create a chance or the shot. We need to create these moments. We're playing more and more together. So calling for patience there, the manager. And on Zach Lovelace, interestingly, did well for the B team yesterday, played the first half in the 4-1 win against Stenhousemuir in the SPFL Trust Trophy as Rangers progressed to the quarter-finals. And he said he will be involved in the matchday squad tomorrow. He says he was quizzed, is Zach Lovelace somebody that can help you? Is the kind of excitement or the kind of difference you feel at the moment that can come in with the team and help because the fans are looking to be excited by somebody? Yes, but Zach is not there that the fans will be excited for 10 games in a row, so he can do specific things in another style than other players in the squad, but there are still a lot of things to work on. He's just 18 or 19 years old, but it's an interesting profile for the future and for the near future. We decided before the game that it was a maximum of 60 minutes to play, and we would decide during half-time if it was 45 or 60. In 45, I saw enough because I want him on the bench for Thursday if it's necessary that we can use that kind of profile, what we have less in the squad now because of injuries to other players. So certainly high praise for Zach Lovelace. Chris, would be quite interested to see him being part of the first team setup. I know he was an unused sub in Malmo. Could we see him tomorrow?
I think you'll see him on the bench. Time will tell whether we see him on the pitch or not. I think a lot of that depends. It depends on how the game actually goes. I think if the opportunity is there, I would hope that the manager uses it, because I think this point's been raised by a number of the fans over the last couple of weeks about players like Lovelace, like Bailey Rice, starting to see them being more involved, starting to see them being introduced. It's fine saying yes, we have encouraging and exciting young players, but ultimately Rangers have to get the benefit of them. We have to see them on the pitch. We have to see them if they're any good or not. So I don't think you'll see them start. No, it's going to be Cyril Dessers that gets the nod to lead the line. I'd imagine it's Barami off the left, maybe McCausland off the left. So I don't think you'll see Zach Lovely start. He will be part of the squad as the manager says, and then it really just depends on the circumstances within the game whether he gets his chance or not. But certainly going forward, a number of games that Rangers have coming up, they are short of options in that final third. Certainly short of, as Stevie said in his question, they're short of people who can excite the fans, who can really just give them something different. And I think Clement would get a bit more of credit in the bank if he was shown to be willing to actually put these type of players on and give them a crack.
Yep. He was asked as well, is Ridvan available? He says he's not in the selection because he's trained now the second time with the first team, but he came out of a serious injury. It's too fast for him to put him in again, but he's in a positive way. So that is what he had to say on that. No mention of Robin Proper. I've just a spoiler alert, our predicted teams will be out tomorrow morning. I have Leon Balogun in my starting 11 and a formation change. Can I see Clement changing formation? No, but I think he has to. Tom Lawrence as well, Pup the Press, speaking about how Kilmarnock, the defeat there on Sunday, hurts a lot, and speaking about a number of different issues. He was quizzed on some questions from Romanian journalists, what he expects from Bucharest. He says they're quite random, and they have done their due diligence on them. But he's also quizzed on Rangers being too boring and predictable. He says, I think that's fair for the game on Sunday. I don't think it's fair for the previous games. I think we've created enough chances in previous games on Sunday. I don't know why we perform like that, but we need to make sure we don't perform like that ever again at this club while we're here. Me being a creative player, I have to create chances, score goals. We just need to be a lot quicker. We were too lackluster on Sunday, and I'm sure we'll do it a lot better on Thursday night. So that is what Tom Lawrence had to say. You can read everything he had to say over on the website alongside Philippe Clement as well. Right, we'll wrap up there. Big thank you to Chris, as ever, for joining us. And thank you to you all for your support to the channel and also for tuning in. Just a heads up, tomorrow, of course, is match day. Myself and Chris will be at Ibrox. I'm certainly hoping that Rangers can get my bum off the seat and get a bit of excitement, because I have not enjoyed watching Rangers this season. Apart from Malmo aside, that was good. But it's been pretty turgid stuff so far. So let's hope they can get a win tomorrow and lift the mood in the camp. Right, we will be back tomorrow morning. I'm on with Stevie for the show. Join us at 9:30. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Bye for now.